Hey, photo friends, and welcome back to Photographer Life Check. I'm your host, Qurissy, and today we have the illustrious Angela Ogunfojuri. Hey!
Thank you so
Angela,
much.
thank you so much for being here. I want to jump straight into the photographer fit check with you. In case you don't know, this is your first time listening. We like to get into the photographer fit check, something that we're wearing, especially because I see you on set. You wore it to set today, which is perfect. Can you let the people know something you wearing? It could be anything, shirt, jewelry, however you feeling.
Okay. Well, I this is a TikTok buy. I'm like, I can't help it, but I love like TikTok shop. So this is like a sports bra, I'd say, from TikTok. And yeah, that's it really. And then I'm just wearing some like H&M jeans and like that. But yeah, not
Cute.
anything special, I'd say.
Nothing crazy for me today either. This little like workout top that I actually
Mhm.
usually wear all the way zipped up. I feel like the Tomb Raider when I have it all the way zipped up. So I like to wear it like that. But it's just from
Mm,
Amazon. I've had it for a minute. And then shout out to the waves on swim. So they
it's
hate on
looking
him.
good.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
They laid today. I'm liking them today.
Wow. I can't. How did you get your hair dyed that way? It's so nice.
Oh, I actually did it myself. It's I bleached it, which it was only my second time bleaching my hair ever, and
Okay.
then just put the purple on top. And what I've learned is purple fades so fast. This was a much vibrant purple, like legitimately 3 days ago. Like it was so much brighter, and now we're here. So okay,
Lilac chic is what you're giving.
I'm not mad at it. It's like every day I get a new color. I'm not mad at it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do it, Angela. I
Okay.
wanted
Okay.
to switch up kind of how we flow for the episode today. We are in our 7th month of the podcast. Yay! We love a milestone. Shout out to Black Women
Mhm.
Photographers, our network. We love y'all. But I was just thinking like now's the time, especially before our year mark, but I even think as time goes on, there's opportunity to change things and experiment. But I'm like, now's the time to just really try different things and see like what lands with our listeners, see what goes well, see what maybe isn't going so well. And one of my favorite things, and also what I hear from our listeners, is some of their favorite parts of the conversation are some of our segments. And I love our segments so much. So I wanted to try reordering them for this
Okay.
episode to just see how it
Okay.
goes. I think they're hella fun. So we started off with photographer fit check already. I love that one. It's just a little cutesy thing.
Mhm.
And instead of getting straight into our life check, I want to get into the PLC playlist. Now, this is the part of the show where we get to have you put us on what's your favorite song, especially one that you might be playing on set right now, something that's like constantly in loop. How you feeling?
Okay. So I have to like. I think there's this one song that I heard about like 3 months, 2 months ago, I'd say.
Okay.
Um, and it's like, oh, it's by Khya. And it's this remix called Mary Jane. And I guess it's a quite an obscure artist, but I just love the track. It's kind of like this bassy, jazzy um
Ooh.
track. It's so good. And when I first heard it, it's quite sultry as well. And it just kind of gets everyone in the mood to like just kind of
Mm.
vibes.
Okay, so is it Kaya Kaya?
Khya.
Okay, okay,
And then it's Mary Jane. Yes, Mary Jane
okay.
Swell Noir remix.
Got you. Okay, we're adding this to the POC playlist. If you guys want to listen, I get a song from every single guest. And I just started doing this only a couple months ago, so it's not full yet. But every episode we get a little more full. So we're gonna add this to the playlist. I'm so
Okay.
excited to listen to it. And my PLC playlist edition, I'm low key. I've been in such a mood lately. I'm going through my phone right now. So on TikTok, this guy made an edit for Creed that blew up. It was incredible. And he blended 2 songs. One of the songs is called A Good Man with a Broken Heart by LoVibe, and it's honestly, oh my god, it won't play. I don't know why it won't play, but it's such a good vibe, like, it's punchy and it's soft, and he blended it with a Kendrick Lamar song, and it just sounded so perfect, but ever since
Oh.
that edit, I've just been listening to this song nonstop. It's so, so good. I feel like I'm creating edits in my head.
I think I may know what one you're talking about.
I
I think
think
I've
you
seen it.
know, like, it went so viral, and then hella other people started making their own edits to it, like, it was so good. Okay, this next segment is called Photographs Not Taken. This
Okay.
is honestly one of people's favorite segments, which made me really happy because this is actually one of the first segments I added to the show when it was just like an idea of my head. This is a question I think about a lot before the podcast was ever an idea. And it is, what's a photograph you wish you would have taken but never did?
Oh my god, there's so many. There's
Yes,
so many.
exactly.
Oh,
Like the ones in my life just stay in my head so long. I always want to know what other people's are.
there's so many. Um, I kind of like so I have like my professional kind of photography that
Mhm.
most people see a lot, and I also have like my personal stuff that I don't really post. If I post it, it's on the story. Like it's
That's real,
temporary.
yeah.
It's not. And when I'm on holiday, there's so many moments that I wish I could have captured.
Mm.
Many sunsets, I'd say. There's so many sunsets I wish I was able to capture. I would say, okay.
Like even the face you're
Um,
making, I'm like, this is gonna be so good.
Oh, I'm trying to think of something recent because in London, there's just so many things to capture, so many things that are
Mhm,
happening. I went to Notting Hill Carnival on Monday,
mhm,
and if for people who aren't aware, Notting Hill Carnival happens in August, the last weekend of August, and it's this massive carnival in London. About 2 million people attend. It's huge. It takes over the whole of like West London. It's massive, and it's like a celebration of Caribbean culture. And
mhm,
there's just so many costumes and like just hairstyles and how people dress and things like that, and it's like such a great celebration of Caribbean culture, and also
mhm.
Black British culture as well, because there's more an integration of like different like countries as well. So like you've got West African countries as well as East African countries, and also like Black diasporas across the world, all come
Right.
together. And I'd say I think it would have been I can't give you a particular moment, but I can give you that I would say would be I wish I took my camera with me because I I decided I was just gonna go by myself. Um, and I think it would be taking pictures of the vendors. So the vendors are like
Oh.
the people who like sell food and things like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think just catch because I think everyone captures the costumes and they capture like
Yeah.
the outfits and
I
like
mean, everyone
people
always
and
looks so gorgeous.
the
Those costumes are incredible.
yeah, like but I think it would be cool to if I think if I went again, I think I would really focus on people who make the carnival happen. So the
Yeah,
vendors
that would
and
be so cool.
them showing out and seeing the work behind the scenes. So like I think that yeah, I think it would be that. Yeah.
Also, I always feel like vendors make such good photos for street photographers in general. I love seeing like the hot dog stands in New York or like if you're at like a food festival or something at night, you always see it like in a Chinatown or literally in Asia. It's like a perfect shot of a vendor like passing some
Mm.
food or mixing something. It's just the
Mhm.
lights always look really cool. I love vendor shots.
Yeah, yeah, and then, like, the smoke as well coming from, the stove and, like,
Yeah.
it kinda adds that
Like
kind of atmospheric vibe. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of textures. I love that one. That's a good one. And also shout out to Carnival. Did you dress up?
No, I wish I've never dressed up for
Ah!
carnival. I'm gonna do it one year, and I'm gonna wear the full-on costume with the headdress. One year,
Yes.
I'm gonna do it.
That's my goal too. I've never been to a carnival, but I've been wanting to go forever. ever. Oh my God. I can't wait. My photograph's not taken. Since you said sunset, it actually made me think about I went to my friend's house for like a flower arrangement event. It was just like a couple homies pulled up. She had hella flowers and we just all arranged flowers. And it was my first time meeting those other friends, but it was like such a cute vibe. It was gorgeous. It was on a rooftop. And so by the time everything ended, it was around sunset, which was
Mhm.
stunning. The sunset was purple, mostly pink and orange, but there was like a little bit of purple in there. But the part that I wish I would have photographed, and honestly, I tried to with my phone, but like it didn't come out how I hoped. There was a murder of crows, like hella crows that just flew across. And I mean, the scene was gorgeous. Like from this rooftop, you see all of the palm trees and the mountains and some
Mhm.
little lush areas on the right and all of these beautiful white buildings on the left. And it was so picturesque to have all of these crows just fly in. And I was just like,
Mhm.
oh my God, where are they going? And we're taking videos and like pictures on our phone or whatever. And it was cute. It was beautiful, but, like, I was just looking at this one scene like, "Ugh, I'm not getting the photo that I want." Like, I see it, and it's not happening. And so instead, I took a cute little video with my little flower arrangement or whatever,
Mhm.
and it was fine, but, I'm like, I keep thinking about that moment because 'cause I'm just like, "Oh, these birds, they were so perfect." And I think it was also, like, the contrast too, like, how dark the birds were up against this,
Mhm.
like, very colorful, vibrant background was just like, ugh, so gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, I love crows. Crows are
Me
awesome.
too.
Cool. But yeah, that sounds like a really cool picture. Like a very
It was
yeah,
so
beautiful.
cool.
But you've got a memory as well in your head, so I guess in some ways
We
you
gotta hold on to these memories. Oh my goodness. Okay, and this next one is called "The Gear Don't Matter." But I love this segment because, the first thing that people always ask us as photographers is, "Oh my God, like what camera are you using? What camera are you using? Like what's that?" And I think sometimes it can be a little offensive because it is always the artist that is actually capturing this photo and
Mm.
not the gear that we're using. But as photographers, I know that we love our gear and they are precious tools. And so I want to know, what piece of equipment do you love using right now? Doesn't have to be a camera. It could be anything that you're using on set. But if it is a camera, that's okay too.
Can I say 2? Is that
Yeah,
alright? 2?
absolutely.
Okay. At the moment, I'm loving this lens that I've been using for the last few shoots that I've done. It's a 14 to 24 Nikon lens.
Oh,
So it's a super
yes.
wide lens. And if you're not careful with it, it can really distort. I guess in some ways it can be in a cool way, but other ways I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've gotten this. The head's a bit too long on it, too
That's
long on
so
the shot.
real.
But I love that lens. I think because I like to shoot wide but close. So, I'm like, because the focal length is so small, I'm like right in the person's face.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like quite intimate. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, "Oh, you're so close." And then I show them what I've actually captured and like, "Oh, okay, you're not that close. It just looks like you're super close." And I love the way, I just love the way it just makes the image look. I think it just looks beautiful.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I've been loving. And it's got this wide bulbous head, so it doesn't really look like a typical lens. Yeah, and then I'd say my next piece of equipment is the Nikon D850, which
Mm.
I say recently upgraded, like upgraded in February, I believe. But
Yeah.
before that, previously I had a camera for like 10 years. Um, and funny story, I'd say this, it isn't about the kit because funny story, I tried to sell that camera that I had for
Okay.
10 years with Nikon D750. And it was like a platform where you could buy and sell. And they
Mhm.
came back with the quote, and they said that I owed them money because the camera was so
The shade.
That's what
Oh
I was
my
like, it's
god.
definitely not about the kit. It's definitely not
No,
about.
for real. Exactly. And that's how you know. And that's why we have this segment because it's not about the kid. You made some really cool stuff on that D750. I
Oh.
love that. That's a testament. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so the quote said that I think there was a recall on the camera that I
Mm,
wasn't aware of when I um got the camera, so when I bought it. And so I think that took it was a really old camera anyway, but that took the price further down. Um
mm.
and then it was like, yeah, you owe us £5. And I was just
That's,
like,
that's
okay,
crazy.
give me my camera back. I'll
No,
just
for real. I'll just keep it. Thanks. This episode is brought to you by Art House, the first Black-owned film lab in the city of Los Angeles. Art House specializes in C41, black and white, E6, and ECN2 processing for 35mm and medium format film, using a custom-built cinema scanner to deliver stunning movie quality stills. Pick up or drop off a roll at their new location in Chinatown and check them out at arthousefilmlab.com or at arthousefilmlab on IG. And tell them we sent you. Okay,
yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna get into the life check now. I love
Okay.
that I did that first. I think that was super cute. Thank you so much for helping me, rotate this a little bit. So, if you are listening for the first time, and Angela, just so you know, photography life check is something that's happening in your life right now, or specifically your career, something exciting. And I let you know already that I really wanted to talk to you about one, your creative journey, but also specifically that you are a Black woman photographer based in London. So, just to provide a little bit of context here,
Mhm.
on one hand, I just recognize as an American that plenty of folks don't know what other Black people are doing in other countries.
Mm.
And when I think about Black women photographers, we do have a ton of inspo now to find other people on like TikTok, Instagram, etc., which is incredible. That's how I find plenty of my favorite creatives, even outside of visual art. But I think Americans can just be a little ignorant, not in a negative way, but just a little ignorant as to how like other Black women photographers are making a living, how it's going, what like the art culture is like in these cities and these countries outside
Mhm.
of America. And so I thought it was like a great way to get this conversation started, even just for ourselves, even if it didn't go past this community, especially right now, like folks could be thinking about moving out of the country. It's like, okay, where are we? Like, where else can I go and
Mhm.
find other people that are like me and like can find new communities for myself? And then on another hand, one of my goals for this podcast is to one, be in person so we can do things like photographer fit checks in person and have shoots and stuff together. But two, to take it on tour. Like I would love to interview you in person at a studio and do all of this stuff together in person and like really feel the energy like that. And it would be incredible to do that with another 5 Black women photographers in London and then 5
Yeah.
in Germany,
Yeah.
et cetera, and, like, how
Yeah.
incredible would that be? And so one of my things that I like to do is when I have goals that feel really big like that is to try to find a way to get it right now. Like, what is the closest thing that I can get to it right now? Which is why
Mhm.
I'm so grateful that you're, like, on a completely different time zone and you're like, "I will clock in." Thank you so much.
That's right. I'm always at the studio, so like, so it's
Which I love.
perfect.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Um,
just thought you would be like a great person to talk to get
okay.
some of this conversation started. And so to jump us in, can you
Mhm.
bring us into the beginning of what your experience has been like being a Black woman photographer in London? What
Yeah.
community like is there? What creating like is
Mhm.
there for you so far?
Yeah, I think I'd first like to say that I want to acknowledge my privilege is that I live in London, which I think um, is one of the for photography for the photography industry is a major city and a major player
Yeah.
in the game. So I'm aware that if I lived in other places in the UK, it would be so much more harder for me to even be where I am right now. So for
Mhm.
that, like, I'm super grateful for actually being from London and living in London, because commercial and advertising and fashion photography, it's huge. People travel all over to from Europe to London to shoot.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that I recognize and am very aware of. And I think, but besides that, I do find working as a Black woman something that is very much front of mind when I'm on set,
Mhm.
because traditionally in the UK, it's very male dominated and it's very white male dominated. Before I was working photography, I used to work in production, creative and fashion production, and I've seen on sets how the lack of diversity on sets.
Mhm.
Um, and usually the photographer is a white male photographer and usually is either in their late 40s to 50s
Yeah.
or older. So I think I've been keenly aware of how the sets and the industry itself can be quite dominated by men. And also the way the UK industry, I'd say, is quite different from, I'd say, the US, where it is about who you know, that it's not really taught that well in school in terms of how to navigate this career. I'm still learning.
Right.
Every day I'm learning something different, and how to move forward. And I think that is something that doesn't get taught in schools, and specific, I would say, especially to Black people, POC, and POC people. And I would say because in those spaces, who you know is kind of usually related to the class background, especially in the UK.
Mhm.
We have, social classes. And that is something that, as myself, I wasn't exposed to. So
Mhm.
the first time I was ever on set, I didn't even know sets could be big. I was just, I would like, I didn't know you could have like 50 people on a set. I was like, what? No,
Yeah.
you're not shooting against a white, like I'd see like, an advert and it's against a white backdrop or something. And I'm like, yeah, just get a camera and you just shoot that. Like, what
Like,
is
let's
the
just do
big,
it. Right. But that's real though, like, of course.
yeah. And I would say not just photography, but in general in an industry, it is quite I've only been exposed in a few years to the amount of roles like art that you could have on set. I didn't know you could be a digital technician. I didn't know you could of course
Yeah.
I knew you could be a lighting assistant, but you could be a first, second, third, even fourth lighting assistant. You can have
Right.
gaffers and you can have camera operators and you can there's and even in the agency side, you've got producers and production coordinators and you've got creative directors and art directors, and there're just so many roles that I wasn't exposed to when I was growing up. And so I think, and then also I would say in the UK, the language in which people speak is like, you've got the code switching, which kind of happens on
Mhm.
set, and like the kind of indirectness, especially I would say from my experience from working in London and in the UK, the indirectness of how people speak. So it's not like, instead of saying, can you do this? It's more like, oh, I don't really think this is working very well. Or you kind of have to understand what people are
Yeah.
saying to placate them. Because usually when you're doing commercial photography, you're working towards a brief that they've created and you want to make sure that the client at the end of the day is happy. So,
Yeah.
there are ways at which people say things that you kind of have to understand and navigate. And I don't think that's something I'm learning. I'm still learning. But yeah, I think that that's just sorry, that was like almost
It's
like the word
the
garbage one kind of, but yeah.
it's a big cultural shift. I also think it's interesting as we get older. I mean, this is all like depending on all sorts of cultures. Like, there's work culture, there's family culture, friendship culture, city culture, where you're from. And what I've found is that the culture I was from was just vastly different from the culture of being on set and like having someone, like you said, just like trying to tell you something, but they're not being
Mhm.
direct, which I just wasn't
Mm,
used to. So it's like now I
mhm.
have to think about what you mean instead of you just saying, can you change this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Which was like, okay. But I do think things like that are just different languages. It's like,
Mm,
okay, I have to learn a new language to navigate this space. Or in other ways, people might need to learn my language so we can navigate this
mm,
space together.
yeah, yeah. That's something that definitely I caught on. too. When there was like a bit of frustration there where
Mhm.
I just wasn't really getting it. And I was just like, what are you telling me to do here? You know, we're speaking, but I'm not understanding what you're saying. And I want to help you. And we want to make sure that this, you know, this image is perfect, you know, and it's then just slowly and slowly I was getting used to how people speak.
Yeah.
Um, and I try and leave that in my professional life because I don't want it to then bleed into other areas of my life because that's just not how
Right.
that's not how I am. And so
Right.
it's also that having to it is kind of like code switching. And I think also like as a Black woman photographer, just being like you're so I'm very aware of the people around me that I'm probably like usually just one or two of, you know, Black people on set. And then
Right, of
also being a woman
course.
on top of that, you know, it's like, okay,
Mhm.
well, if I say this one thing, I'm the photographer, so I'm, you know, the leader on set. So if I'm saying this one thing, you have to say it with such confidence that people, you know, believe you and they take your guidance. And then also, you know, making sure that your team as well are also, you know, you're directing things, so you have to make sure that
Yeah.
your team also are able to have the confidence in you to lead them as well, which is something that as I move up further in my career, it's like because you're working with so many different people from so many different backgrounds, it's leaning on your own experience to have that confidence to
Mhm.
lead the team and to be able to talk to the client and be able to talk to whoever's on set that this is what I not to say that you're like this dictator and you're, you know,
Right.
you know, but it's just like I actually would prefer for this to look like this because of this reason. Because you've shot it so many times, you're like, this looks better like this. And for them to be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's see how that goes, rather than being like, I don't think it's like, no, actually, this is how it because
Right.
that's what they hire you for. So um, it's I'm so keenly aware of that that it's the one thing that I feel like makes me quite nervous on whenever I'm on a big shoot. I'm like, okay, well, I will probably be the only Black woman here, and I'm the leader, as in I'm the one that's directing how this should look and how it should go. Because at the end of the day, they'll say this. It all falls back on me if the image isn't if
Mhm.
the image isn't the way it's supposed
Right.
to be.
Yeah.
It would be like, well, what? So and so it is something that that I'm aware, that I'm very, very aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, like, when you're thinking about that situation or when you're in that situation, do you ever find that it's maybe like an emotional thing for you? Or like how I guess I'm just asking like how do you navigate that situation? For context, I'm thinking about like the awareness of leadership in general. Like
Mhm.
at least my personal perspective on leadership is that it is a service position, but it
Mm,
does come with a lot of responsibility and a certain amount of confidence in order to lead well. And
mhm,
then on another hand, it's also like I recognize that potentially I maybe need to sound a little more stern than maybe I even want to because I am a woman and a Black woman and there's only
mm.
one other Black person on this set or something like that. Where it's like when you're navigating those situations, how are you thinking through it? Like what are the things you're telling yourself? What are the things you're telling them? Like that kind of thing.
So this is something that actually kind of happened recently, and where I was like, how do I have a good dynamic with my team?
Mhm.
Um, and how do I lean into myself and rather than trying to be something that I'm not? And I think it's all about your team and who who you can work well with, because I think you don't have to be stern. I think you can be stern if that's who you are, if that's your personality, and
Mhm.
that's how you feel like that can help you command a room. But also, you can be, you know, if you're shy or if you don't want to if that's not the way that you conduct yourself, then you don't also have to be that way. But I think you have to have a team that believe in you because you're getting hired for to do this shoot, so they like the people know you can do it.
Yeah,
So
right.
you know, and so I think it's just leaning back on those your own experience trying not to. So for me, I try not to if the dynamic in the team isn't working well because I'm quite for me I'm quite a relaxed person on
Okay.
set anyway. Like some people are quite like intricate with how they do things, and I'm kind of like
Yeah.
like we'll see, let's see where it goes. Um, and so I think because of that, it may seem like I'm like a little bit here, there, and everywhere. But
Mm,
I think that's just how I am, and that's how I make my work, and then that's how things happen. And I think for me, that means I'm going to lean into that. And if my team aren't able to, um, if the relationship dynamic doesn't work that way, then it just means that we're just not meant to work together. And
mhm.
so I think because then if you try to be someone that you're not, then I think it can bleed into your work, how you feel, like you might feel nervous on set, and you already have nerves, like, you wanna make a good you wanna have a good shoot, and you want everyone to be
Yeah.
happy, you want your stylist to be happy, you want the client, the agency, the model, whoever you're shooting to everyone to be pleased with the photos. So there is a little bit of kind of tension within yourself already where you're like, "Okay, I want this to look good."
And that's
And so
enough, you know?
yeah.
Like, I don't need no more nerves. Like, these are enough nerves. I still get
Yeah.
nervous before every shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, what is that?
It's like, I think it's like I don't know. I think it's a couple different things, you know? Like, it's an excitement, kinda nervous, where I'm like, "Yay, I'm so
Mhm.
excited for this shoot. I think it's gonna go cool." I think it's a nervousness to hope to deliver something well. It's like, I
Mm.
hope I get the thing I intend to get. I hope everything goes well. I hope the things we need to troubleshoot happens with ease, XYZ. But, yeah, I still get nervous before every shoot, so I completely agree. There's no reason to add more nerves. Like, let's just go with the flow.
Yeah, and I think some people are, like, less domineering, some people are more dominant, and if you're once you find a a way that kind of works for you, then I think it's all I don't think you have to I don't think you have to change because
Mhm.
that's what you are, and that's what made you create these photos. Like, that's what you the photos you create is part of you. So if that's kind of how who you are as a person, then that also
Yeah.
translates in sometimes in your photography. And so then if you try to be something different, then, you've got so many other things to think about on set.
Literally too many other things to think about. Let's not have to think about all these other things. But
But
I
I am
appreciate
a
the context.
yeah, yeah, I think I am aware that being a black woman on set is the thing that is the barrier of, like, if I lean into being too soft, will people then walk over me? So it is that kind of, I'd say, balance.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance to have. When you're on these sets, I recognize also, that you're repped by Hancock and Handsome, and I wanna
Mhm,
get into, like, how that process went for you. Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? Like, I would love to know, especially just like the differences of how it might be working for other women here or in the UK.
mhm.
But with something like that, since you're repped by an agency, like how much agency do you have to build your own crews? Like, are you like, I've been working with my same light tech as long as they're available for the shoot, I'm picking this person. How is that working for you there?
See, I'm quite flexible, and I trust
Okay.
my agent to have people who can work with me.
Yeah.
So I guess it really depends on the shoot, availability of people. So I'm literally back and forth. So if my agent will always recommends lighting assistants, and then or just crew, and if there's someone I particularly want to work with, he's happy for them to reach out to them and for them to work
Nice.
with me. So, but it depends because some photographers just prefer if the agency or the production company does it, and then they just pick all the crew. Whereas like some
Right.
photographers prefer they have this like one lighting assistant that they always work with. For me, I'm quite easy. I'm quite like if I do want someone that I want to work with, then I would suggest and say I would really love to work with this person, and then they'll see if they're available or not. But
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I'm pretty relaxed with that.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So getting into you getting signed by this agency, how did that process work for you there? And while you do that, I actually start bringing up the work because if you don't know, we love to see the work while we're talking about it and talking about process. So let us
Cool.
know.
Um, yeah, so I'd say I was working at in production at the time, so creative and fashion production, and I was getting a little bit like frustrated with where I was like, nothing is moving forward. I was like, people around me were getting promoted and things like that, and I just felt like I was kind of stuck and I wasn't really moving. And
Mm,
I was like, you know what? Photography isn't really going anywhere for me right now, so I'm just gonna just do a master's in documentary filmmaking. I don't know, like, why I decided I was gonna do that, but I was like, "I like documentary. I wanna just go back into studying and then figure out what I wanna do next." But then
yes.
before that, I was like, "Let me just reach out to a bunch of agents, just throw everything at the wall and just see what happens before I make this decision." And so I, reached out to, like, a few people, and Hancock and Hanson got back to me, and I like
Nice.
they stuck out to me because I really like they focus a lot on lifestyle photography, and that's kind of my genre, commercial lifestyle photography, and they were like my agent James. He's just so lovely, and he's just like I've never met an agent like him. He's so
Oh,
funny, and like he's just always there whenever I need him,
hey, shout out to
and
James.
hey James. Um,
Right.
yeah, and he was just he was really, really cool. And we had a meeting, and he was like, "I can see your work in these places and like, you know, with these
Mm,
brands." And I was like, "Oh my God," because I was like, because at that point I was like, "I don't know what's going on. Like I just
yeah.
can't." So he was saying all the right things. I was like, "Good, that's good. That's good to hear." And yeah, and then a few days later, he I oh, by the way, when we had the meeting, like just going through my work and stuff, at the end of it, I was like, "Oh no, I think I've messed it up." Like I was just like, maybe I'm like my photos aren't that good, or like I just thought maybe like it's not
Oh,
like
one of
commercially
those
viable.
moments. Mm.
um, yeah, and then a few days later, he was like, "Oh, let's like should meet up." And then he was like, "Would love to represent you." And so that happened within, like, 10 days from, like, my decision to reach out to him.
Amazing.
I was like, "Why didn't I do this before? Why didn't I do this ages ago?" And so, yeah, and it's been great since. He's really cool. He's really awesome, and it feels, I'd say it does feel really good to know that there's someone backing you, because
Yeah.
before it's it felt like I was just swimming in the dark. For me personally anyway, because I just was like, I don't know how to get this work in front of the right people, or it just felt like
Mm.
things weren't, moving in the way that I wanted them to, or fast enough for me. Um, and it was just nice to have that feeling that if I do a personal shoot or something like that, like I know that it's gonna be seen in, the right people are gonna see it. So yeah.
That makes so much sense. And now I'm curious, did you ever finish the masters?
I never started. I never really started. That was actually the second time I was thinking of it. I actually applied, so COVID when COVID happened, um,
Oh.
I applied to do a master's because before I wasn't working in photography at all. I was, in the corporate world, and I got let go of my job, and I was like, "I'll just do a master's," because that's always a thought.
Mm.
I was like, "I'll just do a master's," and I
There
actually
you
got
go,
accepted.
yeah.
And so Um, I got accepted to do a master's, and then my friend was like, "What are you doing? Like, you've been saying you wanna do photography for so long, and here you are doing something else that's not photography. Just do photography." So, I didn't do the master's, and then went into
Shout out to
photography.
that friend. Yes. We love a friend that's just gonna keep it real with you like that. Like, Yeah, girl, what's going on? Do you want to be a photographer? Let's do some photos.
She was
No, but
so
that's
rude with it as
beautiful.
well.
Oh, damn.
She's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, why are you doing that? Like, you say you want to do photography, and here you are doing a master's. Like, that's
I'm a big fan of a side quest. Like,
Mhm.
legitimately, some of my homies call me side quest cute because I will. I am the type of person that would be like, let me just go give this filmmaker master's real quick. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. So I'm not mad at it. I actually would have been the friend that was like, oh my God, yeah, that sounds so cool. Like, you so raw. Like, what can't you do? But I do also appreciate a friend that's going to be like, babes, are you running away from something? Like, let's do the photography, girl. Come on. We need a balance of both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She
But
definitely kicked
clearly
me
it
up
led you in the
the
right
arse.
way.
That's what she kicked me up. She gave me a kick up the arse and was like, so I did literally for if she didn't say that, I would be doing something completely different. So
Look at
yeah,
that.
shout
It's like
out
the
to her. Like
butterfly effect. Shout out to that friend. What's her name?
Nikki.
Shout out to Nikki. We love you, Nikki. It sounds like you were maybe a little too rude, but I guess you did what needed to be done. And we love you for that.
I literally like every time I see her, I'm like, Nikki, you're the reason why I'm here.
Right.
I'm like every milestone. I'm like, Nikki, you're
There
the
you go.
reason
Exactly.
I'm here.
That's so sweet. This feels like a good place to take a little break, so we'll be right back. We're back. So, this part of our conversation, I want to get into some lighting. I absolutely love your work. Even the more commercial stuff that we just saw a little bit earlier,
Thank
but I
you.
really wanted to get into the lighting of some of this beauty and fashion.
Okay.
Ah! So I'm gonna pull your website back up. Oh,
Okay.
this is stunning, 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 stunning. So this is the first one that I saw that I was like, can we talk about it, please? It's so soft, but so punchy. It feels hella editorial, just so gorgeous. I want to know more about this model. I want to like see her eyes better, but I'm so glad that I can't all at the same time. Can you talk about how you built this set?
Okay, so this one was actually shot in my living room in my home. So
Yes. I love shoots like that where it's like you would never know.
you would
Yes.
you would never know. And my room, like sitting room is tiny. Yeah, so I shot this, I think it was a few years ago. So I'm trying to remember the lighting setup for this.
Okay.
Um, so I think so the theme of this shoot was like gems. So this one is silver. So I've got silver, emerald, um, amethyst.
Mhm.
And so this particular one, yeah, was silver. And so I with this I had a silver brolly because at the time I think I only had like two lights at the time. So I think I had
So real.
umbrellas. I literally didn't have anything else. So I had a silver brolly, um, and a bare bulb. So silver brolly in front,
Mm.
angled just above her. Um, and then I had a bare
Mhm.
bulb just to the, I think that's to the right of her or to the left of her, to the side of her. You know this at first. So actually, when I actually first published this, it wasn't edited this way.
Mm.
So it looks completely different. So this is like a
I do love a
re-edit. Oh,
re-edit. Come on.
this is yeah.
I didn't see number 1, but I'm really liking this version.
Number one is not coming out again. Number two is to stay. um, yeah, so I re-edited it, and I think I wanted to bring out the light from the side and really
Mhm.
bring up that contrast between the light and the dark. And so I deepened her skin, and
Mhm.
I let out the silver on her eyeshadows. There was silver on her lips a little bit. Um, and so you can really see the silver highlights.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so it's quite a simple setup.
I
Yeah,
love that. What I'm realizing now, like as you were explaining it, is like likely this is the bare bulb and then this was the reflector. But
yeah,
another thing that I think makes this image so powerful to me is it the the darkness, the contrast on this side almost looks like a silhouetted profile shot going this way. And then you just get
Mm.
these like little kisses of light here and here and here that makes it feel so romantic. It's like, oh, I love this. Can we get into something? I actually really want to talk about this one.
Okay.
I loved this shot when I first seen it. It's like almost grungy and it's a little messy. Like it looks like the lipstick is coming off of their face a little bit. How did you
Mhm.
set up this shot?
This was in a studio, yes. And so I used a I'm trying to figure out this. I think I used the bare bulb. So I used the bare bulb, um, and it was angled quite high and down. So
Mhm.
45 degrees high, like probably around like 6.5 foot, I'd say, maybe 7 foot, and then down. And then to fill her face, because this is, if you scroll, I think further down, there's another picture, which was, this is like the second part of the shoot, because it was like, she was quite clean looking. Oh yeah,
Oh.
so that's the full image of it. And then I did a close up of her, yeah. So bare bulb, and then I had two polyboards just in a little like V shape, and then another head just bouncing from the polyboards onto her. And I think that one
Mhm.
was, the bare bulb was
Yeah.
to her right, and then the fill light with the two polyboards and the bounce was to her left. So then that was it, and then she was quite far back from the background. So you can see it's like quite hard light, quite hard shadows. Um, but the thing is with this shoot was that, so even before this was all like rubbed off, the makeup artist did like she like set her face beautifully, done very well. I
Mhm.
think there's another picture in there with like her lipstick not smudged. And then I was like, let's just rub it off. Let's just go for it and see what happens.
Oh.
She was like, no, I don't think I like. I was like, I like it, so let's just see how it
Let's
goes.
do it. Yes.
And it is one of my favorite pictures. And then I thought, let's just write. I was going to write something else on it, something a little bit more crude. And I thought, you know what? Just let's stick to PG. So I wrote CRAP instead. And the model was fantastic. Like she really went for it. So and then with the other image, when it's close up and you've got a bit of saliva just like coming off her like her mouth. Um,
Yeah. Like these little places. Like you would think it was for like a really interesting, edgy kind of like lipstick brand or I don't know, something just like out there. And that's why I love it. It's so out there. Yeah. Let's do one more. I really loved actually, can we do the one that I was like, ooh, this one?
okay, this shoot I go by feel. So like these days, I'm going by like how I feel. And this
Yeah.
particular week, it was a very hot in the UK. It was like 30 degrees, or I think like I guess 90 Fahrenheit, like 100. Um, really hot. And I was like, what is it that makes? What do you want to have when you're really hot? You just want to have fruit. Like you just want to have a watermelon.
Yes.
You want to have a mango.
Literally. And you got these drips, girl, so oh,
So I was like, what is it that I was like, I just need to capture this feeling of just feeling hot, but like really like satisfied when you're like eating fruit. So I wanted to capture like a visceral, like I wanted to see it and be like, yes, I feel it. And so with this was shot in this studio. And it was shot against a blue sky background. So you can kind of see,
mhm,
kind of looks more like a gradient than the blue sky, but you know.
right.
And actually, she showed up like 6 months pregnant when I
Oh,
shot.
period.
She was like, "I'm pregnant. Do you mind?" I was like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it." um, and yeah, so this was shot. I was thinking again with this heat, hot, sweat. So a shot with like two lights, a white umbrella, small white umbrella as the key light, And that was really angled, was quite high up, and it was angled like quite like quite far down, so probably 50, maybe 60 degrees, like really far down, so you can kind of get
Mhm.
that kind of harsh line, the really bright highlights. And then I used a really big umbrella, like a, I guess not 5 foot, an 8 foot umbrella, like with white on the inside, as a fill. Yeah, so my setups are pretty. They're not like, there's not like so many lights. It's quite like I keep it quite simple.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I just said go ham with the mango. So just like so we can get that the drip and like
Kills it.
you
I
know.
love this. Your color grading is so beautiful. I love how much texture you get, especially in these shots. Like this is the other one with the
Yeah.
mango. I mean, like this texture is just so good and it really makes you feel like you're in the image. I really, really love these photos.
Yeah, I think that was the
Mhm.
aim, just to feel like you're like, whenever I see it, I'm like, "Yeah, I remember, like, it was really hot." I really wanted to just
And
have
it's also like, yeah, this is what I look like when it's really hot and I'm going in on a mango, like literally
eyes are closed. Do you know what I
in
mean?
it. Like it's just me and this mango in this time. I feel like when I'm looking at your work, it's just so distinct. And I love when I find that in image makers. And I think the main thing that goes into that is time. Like you're building your relationship with your gear, the people that you work with, your own style. And I think especially coming from early image makers, and I mean that in relative to their craft and not necessarily age. But that's one thing they always ask, like, how do you maintain your style, your look? How did you develop your style or look? Can you speak to a little bit of how that developed for you in your creative journey?
Um, yeah, so, um, I'd say now, I'm gonna talk about recently, I just go by feel, how I feel,
Right.
what inspires me. That mango fruit shoot, that was literally like, I feel really hot, and I just was just thinking how good it feels just to, when you just eat like a really nice fruit on a hot day. And so I try to be aware of just my surroundings and my thoughts, so I'm able to process that into a shoot. Um, and um, and that's what's really helped me like have these like different ideas and things like that. And then for me again, it's how I try and see, it's more about like the visceral feeling, the connection that you get with the photo, what you see from it, and how that makes you feel. And that's the kind of direction I'm going in. And sometimes I can be inspired by so many things, so I try not to limit my inspiration by like, I'm going to sit down and think about what it is that I want to shoot. I kind of go like,
Yeah.
sometimes I listen to music and I'm like, okay, well, this song, because I did a shoot that, there's 2 shoots actually. Got one I wanna do, but there's a shoot before that I did a few years ago that was inspired just by a song, because I could just see, I just had a visual in my mind, kind of like directors when they
That
have,
happens
like,
to me
the
all the
visual
time. Yeah.
kind of, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And so I try not to limit my inspiration by, or what it like, yeah, I try not to limit my inspiration, but I also try and not limit what it is that I can shoot. So I try not to stick to just saying like, this is the only thing I can shoot. I try and say like, how would I shoot it? And what am I saying to the world? And what is it that I'm feeling? And maybe that person can
Mhm.
also feel that way, or maybe get what I'm feeling, and maybe they can connect to that image as well. And I think with style, I think a lot of people try to niche themselves down with, I need to edit a particular way, I need to shoot this particular thing. And I think like in some ways restriction can inspire creativity, because you have a bounds and you're able to creatively adjust. But in other ways, what it does is that you kind of limit yourself to just shooting this particular thing, or editing in this particular style. And I think instead I try and see what is it that I'm trying to say and what is my voice. And also
Mhm.
people people change all the time. I was shooting fashion and beauty, now I'm shooting more like commercial lifestyle stuff, but I think
Mhm.
it kind of still shows through from my fashion and beauty to my commercial lifestyle, that it's still the same photographer shooting the same thing, but because that's me, I'm uniquely me, and this is what I how I see the world. As we grow and as we change, I don't think I'm the same person I was a few years ago. Definitely, I feel like
Right,
I'm a different person,
exactly.
but I'm essentially still me, and so I think that's what's helped me to just try and like keep to myself, like um, keep my style in a way that's consistent to me, um,
Mhm.
and allowing myself to change and allowing to being compassionate about myself that I'm changing, and being
Ugh,
okay with like, okay, this is not what I want to do. Like, this is not how I want to shoot. This is the what I was shooting before was not how what I want to shoot now, but the same
yeah.
kind of voice, if that makes sense, the same kind of voice is still going through, and I think that kind of helps with keeping. I'd say allowing yourself to grow in a way that is natural to you, rather than like jump like but people can jump from different styles and see what suits them. But I think it's I guess when something suits like fits you, like you know, you put something on and you're like, this fits me very well. I think
Yeah.
that's where you can then feel like, okay, how can I grow that and expand that to either
Mhm.
fit me even better, or where can that go for me? So yeah, I don't know if that's
That's such a good one. Like, I love the way that you framed it also, where it's like, allow yourself to change. Ooh, it feels so good when you like let yourself expand in these different ways. And I completely agree in that, like, when you set up boundaries for yourself, like sometimes, yes, you can develop very deeply and find something that's working for you really well. And also potentially you might be limiting yourself to other ways you could be expanding. I think that was so well put. Thank you so much for that.
def
Also, thinking about agencies, like most people want to see a distinct style, but that doesn't mean it can't change. They just want to see that you can create the work that you're trying to create. So if you find that you're in the season of changing, I support it. I'm very into it. I feel like currently I'm in like an interesting little bag, and I've been wanting to. I've been feeling like I've wanted to change my editing style. And some photos I've been editing recently, I'm like, oh, this is real different. But much like you, I'm like, I'm just following my feeling. Like, this is what I'm feeling like right now. And I'm really liking what it's turning out to be.
I think you know, you
You just
just know,
know.
you just
Yeah.
know.
It's like as it's happening, you're knowing. You can't know it before. So this leads us to our last segment of the day, which is shoot your shot. So I think this is a perfect segment to like allow us to help you manifest one of your dream shoots. So I want to know, who is somebody or a company you'd love to photograph or work for?
Oh my god, okay. Um, there's so many. I need to, like, pick one. So my first thought was I would love to shoot a hotel, but I just wanna do because I just really wanna do, like, an abroad shoot. Like, I just wanna go abroad and shoot, like, something really cool. I'm trying to manifest it. As soon as I say it, I want it to be like, it should be true.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to pick
And
what
we're gonna
kind of
help you. Like, we're literally gonna put our energy into making sure that company, that person, whoever it is, hits that email.
okay, I think I'm gonna go for KFC.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna go because I see oh, I'm gonna go for K wait, I don't know if I'm gonna stick to stick to
We can manifest it for a lot of different people. I'm already waiting so we can know which hotel company abroad. It's like, hey, the Marriott in Turkey, Angela, get Angela on the line right now.
Um, okay, I'm gonna stick to a hotel. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm going for an international hotel brand. They're called, um, is it Melia? Oh my god, I should go sorry.
That's okay because after you get the job, they're gonna be like, okay, this is how you pronounce it. Do you know how to spell it? Melia Hotel.
I might be saying it completely wrong.
Melia.
Mie LE, I think. Oh wait, no, that's an appliance brand. That's a kitchen brand.
Oh, yeah, that which, I mean, if you want them to, we can add to the list.
Oh, Melia,
Melia
Melia.
Hotels. Okay, beautiful. Melia Hotel, which location? Or do you wanna do Melia Hotel Global?
Melia Hotel Global. I'd love to shoot like a
Yes.
hotel brand.
Okay, beautiful. Melia, you heard it here first. We need Angela in Amelia. We need, let's say, a 3-day stay. We do a shoot for you guys, and then afterward, we get to relax a little bit. Those usage terms are high. Please know before you even get in that email. But you got the budget, so it's okay.
Can I do a shout out brand just in case?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Um, British Airways. That would be my shout.
Ooh, yes, 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 yes. I mean, also that just makes so much sense. Come on, hometown glory, like, get Angela in there. What are y'all waiting for? Angela, thank you so much. This conversation has been so beautiful.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I had a wonderful time. A great
Me
time.
too, so I'm glad you did. Can you tell the people where you would like to be found?
On Instagram, I'm Angie Gal, ANGIEGAL 12.
Mhm.
I think that's it. That's on my Instagram. That's my socials. And also
Period. She
actually
said,
maybe on
"Don't find me
TikTok.
nowhere else." Instagram only. Please don't come looking for me
I
elsewhere.
I am on TikTok, but I don't use it, so I don't know. It's probably I don't
Okay,
think.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, just
Perfect.
Instagram.
And you can find us at Photographer Life Check everywhere you get your podcasts. Please be sure, especially to find us on YouTube or Spotify. It's where you can watch us and see all of our beautiful guests and their beautiful work. And we also post some clips on Instagram too, in case you want the little short bits. And you can find me, Qurissy, also Qurissy everywhere you find me. That's Qurissy. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.